Hello, welcome to the Remotely Review. I'm your host, Remotely. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We're going to start out by talking about this coronavirus. The coronavirus is running rampant in the country. Yes, that's here in the United States of America. The first case I told you guys about, this was discovered in Washington, the state of Washington. And we have a new case now. There's a new case. I think this one is out in New York. Yep, New York State has gotten its first case of the coronavirus. So the virus is here, you guys. It's live and well. It's spreading. Not so much like wildfire, but it is spreading indeed. So they're saying that you need to wash your hands constantly when you're taking out your trash. You might want to put on some gloves, you know. If you see a penny or a quarter on heads and you might want to pick it up, no, don't give in to that temptation. Leave that on the ground. You don't know who last handled that. They may be infected with the coronavirus, you know. It sounds funny, but it's the truth. And so scientists and doctors are just still trying to figure out what's going on with it. How do we get control of it? How do we treat it? This virus actually originated over in China, and recently they discovered that even a dog, a dog has been infected with the virus. There's a case of a dog over in China that has coronavirus. So this is clearly something that spread from man to animal, and I'm assuming vice versa. If you have a dog who has coronavirus, then he or she may pass that along to you, the owner, you know. And so we've got to take extra precautions to make sure that we don't encounter this virus. I say abstain from all types of sex, stop sharing the blunts, you know what I mean? This is just safety precautions that I would take, you know. Wendy Williams even went so far as to stop shaking hands. Nope, she no longer shakes hands. When she walks by her audience, she gives them an elbow. Wendy gives them an elbow. And hey, she's just trying to play it safe. And she's in New York. Wendy's in New York. She's live out of New York every day. And like I just said, they discovered a coronavirus victim in New York State. And this is just as early as yesterday, I believe. So these are the reports that are coming out. There was someone down in Florida, I believe, who may be infected, or they think this person has experienced some of the symptoms of the coronavirus. That story is still developing, okay? And I just think that it's something that needs to be handled and taken care of immediately, because, I mean, come on now, there's something in the atmosphere that is airborne that the United States of America, the CDC, does not have much information about, and it's already killed like tens of thousands of people. I mean, what's really going on? Like, this is like Ebola, you know? Seriously, it's like Ebola. And I'm like, okay, why can't we, like, we've got all of this new technology. They almost got a cure for HIV now, you know what I mean? If you know, you know, okay? There's almost a cure for HIV. People are out here, there's different treatments for different things where one would think that, hey, it's coronavirus. Dial it up in the system, let's figure out how we can tackle it and beat it, right? No. This thing is running rampant, it's killing people left and right. You got people just dropping dead out of nowhere. They say that it takes over your respiratory system, and after that, the person just dies or something like that. You know, there has been some treatments developed for this virus, but I think what's going on is that by the time people discover that they have it, it's almost too late. And then they quarantine the people, and I guess they just lay up in there and die or something. The person down in Florida, they reported that this lady, I'm sorry, maybe this is the New York case. One of them, I think it's the one down in Florida, where this person had returned from a trip, and they discovered that she had coronavirus and she had been isolated to her home. So basically she's been quarantined to her own home. You know what I mean? So if you guys know who I'm talking about, and if you're aware of this story, steer clear of wherever she lives. You know what I mean? Like, it's sad, it's unfortunate, but these are the steps that we must take in order to gain some control and eradicate society of this particular virus. It's unfortunate. This thing has affected the stock market. You know, people's businesses are suffering. I even heard that wedding dresses, like, people can't even get their wedding dresses anymore because, you know, a lot of wedding dresses are developed and created and actually manufactured over in China. Yep. And people are just basically washing their hands of China and saying, we want no part until you get this pandemic under control. It's actually killing people. They're calling it a pandemic right now, but from the numbers, it almost looks like an epidemic. But I was watching the Tamron Hall show on Fox, and she interviewed, I think this lady, she's a scientist or some sort of doctor, some sort of specialist or an expert, okay? And her attitude was very nonchalant about the virus and the amount of people that have died from it. Her argument or her comments on the issue was basically to the extent of, well, we had SARS, we had H1N1, and we have the flu. And, when you look at those different viruses or infections, you have a larger number of people who actually die from those than you do right now at this current moment with the coronavirus. Yeah. And so they're basically taking it lightly, I guess in the science world, these things happen all the time. And so the number that we're looking at, like that 9, 10, 11, 12,000 people that have died from it, that looks staggering to us, right? But to that medical field, to them, those are small numbers. Because to them, people die every day. They're dropping in numbers from stuff that we've been living with for centuries. You know what I mean? Your common cold, the flu, pneumonia, H1N1, that type of stuff, And so, as shocking as it might sound to us, it's only being considered a pandemic at this moment. Not an epidemic, but a pandemic, okay? There's a difference between the two, all right? And for myself, I just want everybody to be safe. I feel as though we all need to rally behind whatever organizations, whatever charities that are out there to help support any type of research that might be going into this particular virus, because you don't want this thing to get out of control. You don't want this thing to get out of control. I mean, you see the numbers that are coming out of China. Those are staggering numbers. Imagine 9,000 people in the United States of America dying from the coronavirus. Really? Yeah. And so, like I said, it's affecting the stock markets for one. There's different businesses that can't even operate. Even Apple out in Silicon Valley. And you know what? I need to mention, they actually reported, this was a couple of days ago, that somebody out in Silicon Valley had that virus. Somebody in Silicon Valley, out there where they do Apple and all of that, the Googles and stuff like that, in California, somebody has the coronavirus out there in Silicon Valley. And so the thing is just running amok across the world. I just hope that they contain it and get control over it immediately. Like I said, they say that this thing is airborne. The virus is airborne, meaning if you walk outside your house and somebody cough, too close to you, that's it. You've got that coronavirus. You got it. It's unfortunate, but it's just the reality of the situation. Yeah, so, good luck to everyone dodging the coronavirus. We're going to move on now. Let's talk about CandyMan. Jordan Peele has decided to redo CandyMan. This is a legendary, iconic movie, considered a staple in the community, if you ask me. CandyMan is a staple in the community. If you're into horror films, those 1990 horror films like your Screams, your Freddy Krueger movies, things like that, Chucky even, maybe even the Leprechaun. If you like stuff like that, Pinhead, Hellraiser. You remember Hellraiser, right? Well, there was also CandyMan. CandyMan, played by Tony Todd. Yeah. And what can I say? I just hope that he does a great job with it. I don't want him to mess this up. Jordan Peele, do not mess this up. This is a classic. We remember CandyMan, okay? The millennials, okay? We remember CandyMan. You gotta get it right. Please do not mess this one up. I mean, I recall the first one. I'm looking at the film. I'm young as I don't know what. I'm knee-high to a duck. You know what I mean? And this guy, he's just, this black man walking around in this stinky looking coat, and he's got a hook, and when he opens up his jacket, a swarm of bees just cover the entire room. It was just something spectacular, something I think visually appealing, and I could appreciate it. There was just something unique about CandyMan that set him aside from all of the other serial killer horror film type guys. You know, if you like Jason, if you liked Michael Myers, like I said, Freddy Krueger, you know, all of those guys, you know, well, you also, CandyMan is right in there with those guys, you know, and so that's, you know, on part one, and then he meets this lady named Helen, and then Helen turns into like a Candyman type of character too. And so they took that movie everywhere that I think they could possibly take it at that time. And so I think it's only appropriate for Jordan Peele to reintroduce us to the Candyman. You know what I mean? And from what I can see in the trailer, it looks like he's done quite all right with the remake from the trailer. Okay, now I'll be honest with you guys, I saw Us in theaters and I was amped up about it. I wanted that thing to be something not necessarily exactly like Get Out, because Get Out is a phenomenon. Like, Get Out was something groundbreaking, unique, innovative, something that, you know, just was unforeseen before. Okay, and when I saw it and I really didn't feel any kind of emotional attachment to it. It really didn't move me in any type of way. I was disappointed. I actually left early in the film. Before it even ended, I left the theater. Yep. It just was not that appealing to me. There was something off about it. Like, it fell short in a few different areas, okay? But I'm still willing to give Jordan Peele a shot at CandyMan. Yep. CandyMan. It's CandyMan. I have to show up for it. I'm going to be there in the theaters with my popcorn and my soda. Probably with some Jolly Ranchers or, you know, some Airheads or something like that. Because I like to snack during the movie. I like to snack. I'm a snacker, okay? Like, I snack. And, you know, I'm anticipating a great project, Jordan Peele. Please don't let us down, all right? Don't let us down. They don't make movies like that anymore. They don't make movies like CandyMan anymore. And so if you could reintroduce us to that in a spectacular way. So there's been reports that Jennifer Lopez and Shakira's Super Bowl performance back in February actually received 1,300 FCC complaints. Yep. This is what they're saying. And I can see why. You know, the Super Bowl is supposed to be a family-oriented type of event. It is. Despite what you might think, despite how many beers might be sold and, you know, how many arguments might take place, and, you know, what type of aggression or hostility might be displayed or exhibited out on the field, it's supposed to be a family-oriented type of event. That's the Super Bowl, all right? And so the NFL has to answer to that, because when you think about it, and if you can remember Jennifer Lopez and Shakira's performance, it was a little bit salacious. You know, it was pretty hot and tempting. The girls came out to play. They came out to play, okay? And they were not short-stopping. Shakira, although her outfit was not as revealing as Jennifer Lopez's, it still had a certain level of sex appeal to it, you know? If you don't like this type of sex, then you'll like this type of sex. That's what was going on stage when you had a Jennifer Lopez next to a Shakira. That's what was going on, okay? And you also had Jennifer Lopez being hoisted like on a stripper pole. And so, you know, things like that, provocative, graphically appealing type of images like that, they stay with you. And so you got some, I guess, what do you call them? Negative Nancy's, some soccer moms that drive the caravans and stuff like that. Like, they're upset, okay? Somebody in Tennessee stated that they were just a little bit dissatisfied over the performance because their family was there and they did not show up to, you know, be witness to whatever was going on that stage. People in other areas of the country sounded off as well. They just were dissatisfied with that performance. Now, looking at it from an artistic point of view, I can appreciate it. Artistically, it was great. Creatively, it was great. Like, I think they put on a show for the people. They did that. So bravo, okay? Bravo to Shakira and J.Lo for the Super Bowl 2020 performance. You guys did a great job, okay? But you also got to understand why some middle America type of people would take offense or just find it a little bit distasteful. Okay, and so, you know, they're entitled to their opinions, and so these complaints were filed with the FCC. I'm not sure if J.Lo and Shakira have suffered any type of fines for that particular event. Those numbers have not come out yet, but I'm assuming if there were complaints, they're probably going to be fined for something, right? You guys know they fined Janet Jackson when she performed at the Super Bowl with Justin Timberlake. Yeah. They got fined. Janet Jackson was banned from performing on a Viacom network. You know, and so Janet Jackson suffered pretty severely for her little FCC complaint. You know, so what's going to happen to J.Lo and Shakira? I don't know. We'll stay tuned and we'll watch this story as it develops, okay? You're watching the Remotely Review. All right, you guys, so Bhad Bhabie is back in the headlines. You know, recently she's been basically harassing Sky Jackson, threatening to kill Sky Jackson. Well, we have a new one for you. Right now, she's actually threatening to deliver canned food. Yes, canned food. Bhad Bhabie wants to deliver canned food to some individual who wants to fight her and her mother. There's been a lot of drama going on Instagram. When Bhad Bhabie gets in her live, her mother's in the background, and it seems as though she and her mother don't have the best relationship with one another, and the fans don't like it. Her watchers, her audience, they don't necessarily agree with how she communicates with her mother, all right? And one person in particular who happened to be viewing Bhad Bhabie's video at that time took major offense to it, and she called Bhad Bhabie out, and she says that she wants to fight Bhad Bhabie's mother, and she wants her little niece to fight Bhad Bhabie. Yeah. And so Bhad Bhabie's out here ruffling a lot of feathers. A lot of feathers. Yeah, she's rubbing people the wrong way. People are just simply dissatisfied with her behavior. She's exhibiting, I think, somewhat of a psychosis right now. I don't know if the fame is getting a little bit too much for her, or if, you know, maybe she's not being handled by the right people. I don't know, okay? But what I do know is that it needs to be stopped. It needs to be contained. You know, she needs to be wrangled and kind of guided in the right direction, because okay, the Cash Should Be Outside girl, which is who we know her as, this is when she appeared on Dr. Phil. Okay, she's older now, so why haven't they kind of grown her out of that era into something a little bit more mature, something that people can respect? You know, this girl has 4.1 million followers. That's how many followers she's got on Instagram. I'm not sure how many she's got on YouTube, but on Instagram, she's got 4.1 million followers. So, I mean, she's definitely got some influence out there. There's people following this girl.